What's going on, everyone? The Bad Habits here, aka TBH. Welcome to yet another movie review. On today's show, we're going to go over the brand new, highly anticipated film, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Let's do the damn thing, okay? Alright, for starters, we're just going to read the premise from Wikipedia here, so bear with me. 300 years after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes, ape civilizations have emerged from the oasis to which Caesar led his fellow apes, while humans have regressed into a feral, primitive state. When the ape king Proximus Caesar, armed with weapons forged from lost human technologies, perverts Caesar's teachings to enslave other clans, the chimpanzee hunter Noah embarks on a harrowing journey alongside a human girl named May to determine the future for apes and humans alike. Man, that's some good shit right there. So with that being said, full spoilers ahead. This won't be the most detailed review, and if I'm being honest with you, it is currently, not that I have a watch on, but it is a little past 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I would love to get some sleep here, but I had to crank out this review because, frankly, I'm kind of late already. If I were you, I would definitely expect TVH here to do a full, in-depth review of this film one day, just like I recently did with the recent reboot trilogy. Thank you if you tuned in for that. That actually got a decent response, so I really appreciate all of you. At this point, I'm just trying to get to like 400 subscribers, so we're like 5 away. If you're new here, please hit that button. So now that's out the way, we can get to the real question. Is Kingdom of the Apes, is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, excuse me, put some respect on it, thank you Birdman, is it truly better than the other ape movie that released this year? Is this Apes film better than Godzilla x Kong? Yeah, it is. This film opens with a tribute and funeral to Caesar, so it directly picks up where War left off. Now, it was short and sweet, but it was just enough to get me right in the feels. It's always good to see Caesar, Maurice, Rocket. It was a shame we didn't get Bad Ape or Nova, but whatever. The biggest issue I have with franchise sequels normally is just, is it accessible for people who aren't following the previous films? You know, you look at the MCU today, if you don't watch one of the shows, it's just not going to make sense. I don't know what's going on now. Luckily for us, this film is absolutely accessible. It tells you everything you need. Now let's get into some of the main characters. We have Owen, played by Owen Teague. He's very noble and soft-spoken. It's a little, it's a bit of a 180 contrast to Caesar, who was more, stoic and commanding. It's actually a really subtle performance. Bravo. Next up, I have Peter Macon, who plays Raka. He's an orangutan. This dude right here, he is badass. He is hilarious, very quotable, and just overall cool. He's the brother of the group. More on that later. Next up, we have Freya Allen, who plays May, also known as Nova for the first bit of the film. This one, if I'm being honest, this one's she's really compelling. I like the way she plays it. You can't trust her at all, in my opinion. It's just something about her just seems shady all the time. So, she really plays that well. Next up, we have Kevin Durant playing Proximus Caesar. This dude, or ape, whatever, this dude is a scene stiller. He just comes in with just hella swag, and it's infectious. If you saw my trailer review for this film back a few months ago, I was really excited for Proximus. Didn't think Rocco would come off the way he did, but man, it looks like Noah's going to be our protagonist, and based on the trailer a character named Proximus. He's fixing to be our antagonist. At least that's what I'm getting from the trailer here. I need more of this. Proximus, let me tell you, he is chewing up the goddamn scenery just in the trailer or teaser. He takes all of the, essentially the Bible, essentially that Caesar created. I believe it's been 300 years since the last film at this point. So the words have been twisted and reinterpreted, and now it's this dude is just, he leads a clan that, they're just pillagers, frankly, and they're out to get the best shit. But the thing is that's really compelling is he's at a point now where he wants to evolve past being an ape. He wants technology, so he really wants to replace humans. Let's be real. That's what it is. They already are the dominant species, but if you give them UAVs and shit and spy planes, I mean, I just can't imagine. And lastly, I want to talk about two other characters. The characters Anaya, played by Travis Jeffrey, and Suna, played by Lydia Peckham. Now, those are Noah's two best friends. One's a love interest, and one's the, best buddy, I guess, essentially. Those three have a nice little unique bond. It's akin to the Caesar, Rocket, Maurice relationship, but it's a whole new spin on it. On a technical level, this film is goddamn gorgeous. It's cinematic. These apes are more human than the humans. I could have used subtitles, though. Let me be honest with you. Someone who watches pretty much everything at home with subtitles, it was initially kind of jarring sometimes, maybe with the close-ups of the apes. I just couldn't maybe focus on the lips. I don't know, but that's fine. That's a personal thing. So the three best buds are out on a journey trying to do the high climb, they call it. The point of the high climb is to obtain eagle eggs, because this tribe is known as Eagle Clan. That's their whole thing. They're just humble eagle farmers. I don't know if that's the right term, but I'm using it. That opening is dope, by the way. It's really low-key, subtle, and, it's just, they're just trying to get an egg. But it really drives the plot, because at one point they encounter May. Her and Noah get into a tussle, and, long story short, the egg is destroyed. So Noah sets out to get another egg, and that's when he runs into the Proximus clan. And they're fucking scary. I mean, they're riding around with masks on. It's some Mad Max shit for real. They end up pillaging Noah's village, killing his father, and destroying the home. Honestly, it's fucking brutal. But that's when the movie really opens up, and that's when the adventure starts. That's when you really start to feel the scale of this one. And since the bad guys essentially kidnapped Noah's clan, he essentially sets out to find them, but his character arc isn't to find them. It's actually to lead them. He just doesn't know it yet. His father is known as the master of birds, so basically he can command them by singing or humming. Throughout the film, we see Noah trying to master that skill. More on that later. They definitely set that up throughout the film. Early on, he tries to do the humming, and then one of the eagles just fucks him up. One of my favorite things, I want to talk about Raka. He gets all the goddamn best lines. I'm not going to go into all the spoilers here, but with his intro scene, Noah literally drops in, and that's how he meets him. He's just super quotable. At that point, he goes, "Apes falling from the sky." I'm not selling it, but great job. Another thing is he is essentially a keeper of Caesar's dreams. He is a member of the Order of Caesar, which is essentially a religion that keeps the original dream alive. Since one of the commandments is, ape shall not kill ape, at one point beats the shit out of one and simply says, "Caesar will forgive." Yeah. All right. I'm in. A nice touch from this film is the symbol of the Order of Caesar. It's from the window of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes home. That was a really nice touch. I will say, I think the runtime is a little bit long. The score wasn't as noticeable, at least for me. To be fair, that's a personal thing once again. Also, there's a lot of familiar story elements. We get a ape, an orangutan, and a white girl traveling horseback. Bad guy kidnaps good guy's clan or tribe, for their benefit. An explosion causes a natural disaster, which has a huge impact on the story, just like in war. Oh yeah, another thing, a turncoat character gets choked out before they can blow the whistle. That happens. And, of course, one of my least favorite things in films, sacrificial Negro syndrome. Okay, sure, they're apes, but Peter Macon is like the black character, okay? I'm sorry, he's a black man. Everyone else is pretty much white. Why this motherfucker gotta die? It's 2024. We need to... I'm not saying black people can't die in films, but when you're the one black person and you don't make it, I don't know. But it turns out he's alive, so we'll forgive you on that one. Let me offset that by bringing back some pros here. This movie is full of wonder. Small things like an ape using a telescope, an ape discovering the zebra. Or is it zebra? Also, Noah learns the meaning of shit. You don't get that in the previous films. And they literally throw shit in the last one. Kevin Durant is Proximus. Man, it's hard. Sorry. It's hard for me to see him as anyone besides Carlos from Butterfly Effect. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. Every time I see Kevin Durant, it's just hard for... God damn it. I'm so glad he recovered from that, okay? This was 20 years ago. You could do shit like that. But, yeah, no, he is great. His whole thing is, he rules with an iron fist. He's tyrannical and all that. But, in the end, through his horrible methods, he really does want to see the apes stay atop the food chain. And he wants to evolve, as I said earlier. So we're going to skip past so much shit here. Let me just get to some brass tacks here. At the end of the film, after blankety blank has happened and this and that, twist and turn, yada yada, I'm not telling you all that. It's 3:40 in the morning. It's late, goddammit. But my point is, at the end of the film, at the final fight, the climax, essentially we have Proximus versus Noah, and their clans are surrounding them. They're atop a mountain. Long story short, we get, and I quote, death by eagles. At this point, Noah finally masters his ability, and he's a master of birds now, so he commands his army to swarm on Proximus. Whew, it did not disappoint, and since I mentioned they're on a mountain, of course we're gonna see him fall. We didn't get a body though, but immediately I'm thinking, Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's probably turning over in his grave right now. Overall, this film is not perfect. Yeah, I know, shocker. But it's damn good. It felt like a great reintroduction to the series. There's plenty of room to take off from here, and I want to watch it again. So it's getting a positive rating as of right now. At almost 4 a.m. on a Sunday. Sorry for my crankiness. As of right now, I'm going with a low added to the collection. That's still a really good rating. I'm not sure if I would put this over Rise just yet. I have a lot of attachment to those three films. I need time to process it. Either way, it's a great addition, and it could definitely stand aside to that trilogy, I hope so. At least we're off to a great start. With that being said, I gotta get to editing this bitch. So I'm the Bad Habits, aka TBH, and I'm signing out, y'all. Deuces.